All right. What's up, guys? For those who don't know, my name is Garrett, and I've been selling on Amazon for about 4 years now. So in today's video, I want to go over exactly like how to understand what Keepa is really. For beginners. I'm gonna break it down to the best of my knowledge that I can, and try to just so you can grasp what Keepa actually is. You know, it's an amazing software, and it's I wouldn't be able to run my business without it. Because what it does for me, at least, is I find books on Amazon. So I'm trying to find undervalued books on Amazon, purchase them on Amazon, and then send them back into Amazon and sell them on Amazon. So a lot of Amazon there. So it's a tool that I use to run my whole business. And it's an inventory-based business, so my business doesn't run unless the inventory does. So I'm gonna dive in a little bit here. I do have a script over here, so I can hopefully stay on track a little bit this time. But anyways, so why Keepa? Keepa is it's describes the core capabilities. It's pretty much your past historical data of what a pricing of what the book does. So your sales rank, your how many sellers are on it, how many books are on each seller. It'll tell you everything you need to know. We'll just click into one of these and go dive a little deeper here. The benefits really, it's just going to show you, give you instead of just guessing if a book's going to sell or not, you're going to have a little more data to go off of. So as a bookseller, you're not really looking at all of these. There's so many other options that you can add on here. You got to simplify it. All right. So the orange right here is Amazon. That's the main thing that you're going to be looking at to like see your ceiling. Like you cannot price higher than Amazon. So this book is horrible. You can't price higher than $3.95. You know what I'm saying? As a used bookseller, it just won't happen. What you're going to be wanting to pay attention to is this black line. This black line is the lowest used offer count. So this is the one that you want to look for to determine like, okay, last year, this is a Christmas book, A Christmas Carol. So you can see that it picks up in sales right here with the green line. So last year at Christmas time, it popped up to $3.09. Not a great book. But like I said, this green line is the sales rank. This is what's telling you how much it's selling. So over here, you see it's kind of up here, not really not really selling like a lot, but down here it's like staying low. So every time this green line drops, it drops down because it's indicating a sell. So you're wanting to see this line stay low, and that's just gonna tell you that this book is selling like crazy. Let's see if we can get another one that's a little more clear. Yeah, like this one. So let's pop it up to the year. You can click to see the year view. So this is the year-long view it's the end of July right now. So the end of July last year. But you can see this book selling like crazy. And then you can see Amazon, it comes off of it. And all of a sudden the price rises, number one. And number two, the sales rank kind of slows down a little bit. So it's not staying down here, not going like crazy like it was over here. It's starting to slow down a little bit. So you can see that there's a correlation to certain things that happen, like Amazon coming off of it. And then another thing that we got to look out for and make sure that we're paying attention to is this line down here. Not necessarily the blue line. We'll get rid of that. You kind of want to take into consideration new offer count, but not always. The line we want to make sure that we're keeping track of is this black line down here, which is the used offer count. The used offer count is this is your competition right here. There's going to be some variances with FBA and FBM, but we won't go into that right now. Just know that all of this black line is showing how many used sellers are on the listing. So you have to make sure that you keep track of this, because if this line is like regularly here at 40 and then it pops all the way up here into the 100 something, that's a red flag. You gotta look into that a little bit more and be like, can this book withstand that many sellers and bounce back from the price that it was? That's a big thing that you're gonna want to look out for. This is a good example right here of a decent Christmas book. You can see that right here in the Christmas time, the black line, which is the lowest used price, it goes from $2, and then Christmas time hits. Number one, the sales rank drops, and then number two, the lowest used offer price pops up. So it's like during Christmas time, this book goes crazy. It's tons of people want this book, so the demand rises, and then the supply starts dwindling. And as the supply starts dwindling, here's the supply right here. You see the supply starts dwindling down to 9 offers, 7 offers, super low. So that, and then the prices correlate, is reacting off of that, and it's popping up. So that's a great indicator of a pretty decent Christmas book. Now, you little more advanced Keepa stuff, once you get into really understanding it, you're gonna look at from last year where the offer count is, and this year where the offer count is. If the offer count is lower, which in this case is not, it's higher. So since it is higher, we use this example, I can't expect the price to pop up as high. Supply and demand, it's very, very simple. You got more supply, the cost is not gonna get as high in this seasonal time. You got less supply, the cost could go really high, quite twice as high, or more, depending on how low the supply is. And you can even go back and see that this book year over year always pops up during the Christmas time. No matter how high it is, it pops up. It's not a crazy good book. I'm not gonna say like go buy 50 of these because you'll make tons of money, because it only pops up to 20 bucks. With the used buy box, which is the purple little diamonds, you could get higher than 20 some dollars, but I wouldn't put your money on this one. But that's the main things that you're gonna want to look at as a used bookseller. The next things I want to break down is, like, there's 3 main things that you're gonna want to look at when it comes to Keepa. It's your what does the price history look like? Like, understanding what FBA is versus FBM. Warn against the items that have volatiles like price spikings. Like, sometimes a book will go crazy high in price and have no real reason for it. Well, look into that. Is it just like what we have is repricers. If someone's repricer kind of goes out of whack and just shoots the price up to $100 some whenever its true value is at 20, make sure that you're not basing your buying decisions off of that. What's the sales rank pattern? You want to see, like I was just showing, if it's a Christmas or seasonal book, like a textbook or something, does every single year do the same thing? Does it spike in price every single year in August, in January? College book. If it just spikes in price in Christmas time, Christmas book. You got to understand the patterns of the sales rank more than anything. And the big thing that really hurts a lot of beginner sellers is the how many sellers are on it. Like I was saying at the beginning, and while I was showing the graph, down here, pay attention to this line. If it's spiking up like this one, last year at this time was at around 70-ish, maybe a little 70 to 80. Well, now it's about the same, actually. It's not spiking up anymore, but it did spike up. But a year ago, actually it's less, sorry. It's a lot less. A year ago today was 53. Today we're at 70. So we're, almost 20 sellers more than we were last year. So you cannot expect the price to come back the same way. You have to expect it to be a little bit lower since the offer count's higher due to supply and demand. It's just the way just the way it's gonna go. Let's see here. I got my script here so I don't go off of track here. We'll go over some example products of like some of my own books that I've bought recently. I've been diving deep into Christmas books right now because it's warm outside. It's July, so no one's thinking about the Christmas time. So let's see here. what's this one? Let's look into this one. Looks like I bought a few of these. We'll see if we can't get an understanding of why I bought it. Because right now, lowest price is $6.42. Okay, so this is like, right now is the time to buy Christmas books because they're so darn cheap. Coming down here, all right. So Keepa, it's gonna, every time you click on a listing, by the way, I have it as a extension, so it's always gonna pop up on every listing that I click on for Amazon. Now, looking at this book, we're looking at the black line, which is the lowest used offer count. Sorry, I've got my gardeners going crazy here. The lowest used offer price is right here at $29 at the peak. Can we expect to get that? Not necessarily, but we can see that that's a potential where we can get it right there, because it was at that price right before Christmas time. So what I would do is, I'm buying this book expecting that the sales rank's going to drop around the November-ish time. It's going to start getting crazy, start selling, and then in December, around right at the beginning of December, the price is going to start popping up. That's why. So at this time in November, once it starts selling, I have to stay strong. I have to make sure that my Be Cool or whatever repricer I'm using, it has to stay above this price right here. That way I don't sell it off at like, $19 or $18 and then barely make any money. Because it looks like I bought it at $6.45 this last time, and if I sell it at 21, I'll make $4 on it. That's not a lot, right? But you see that back here, I bought, how many is that? If I can get my thing to go here. I bought 6 of them. So that's gonna help me out to get to about $24-ish, a little more, if I sell it at that $21 price. Now, it can go higher. It can go up to 29. And I'll probably price the low at 25, if we're being realistic. And that's gonna give me 100% ROI, $7, and then however many times I can sell it. Maybe I don't sell all 6 of them, but at least I can get some of them sold. But the main thing I'm looking at when I bought this book is, look, we're at 50 here, and right now currently we're at 46, so we're at just a little bit lower. So it's definitely going to pop up to that price. Now, will it go higher? Maybe. Will it go lower? It could. I'm not going to say I know exactly what's going to happen. This is what Keepa is for. It's an educated guess. It's not just guessing. You're not just like, whatever, I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to buy this book and see what happens. No. You're going to look at the past historical data and you're going to be like, okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I want this exact book. Now, not all books are going to have those spikes like that. Those are just Christmas example books. Some books will have, will come out of nowhere and just drop out of the price really low. And that's just because, Goodwill got a hold of it and they're selling it for really, really cheap just to get it out the door. And then sellers like us can go in there and buy it and then put it at its actual value. So another thing that Keepa is good with is finding the books. Like, yes, Keepa graphs are end all be all. Now, here is where it gets a little tough. Okay, so right here, what I've been using right here is Keepa Product Finder. This is the main way I source my books. So I've already got my filters set up right here, but we'll go into advanced filters. So how you're gonna get here is just go to Keepa.com, go to the data tab, click Product Finder, and then you'll come to this spot right here. Now, as a bookseller, you want to keep this as simple as possible, because look at all these filters that you can do. It's very, very, very overwhelming. Now, if you're able to afford it, I would suggest doing Bookmine. Have a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Bookmine just simplifies this process so much easier. It's not a headache. It does cost more, but if you want to start things off right, Joji and Victor, the owners, are doing like videos and stuff, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to know about it. But if you're trying to put you on a budget, Keepa is the way to go. Now, what I always do is keep it simple here. The sales rank is at 2,500,000 or lower. So I'll put it right here, and that's just gonna show me everything that's under 2,500,000 in sales rank, that green line, like I was talking about earlier. Next, well, for my Christmas stuff, if you're looking for Christmas stuff, it's July right now, so you should be looking for Christmas stuff. So we'll just do a Christmas stuff filter. For Christmas stuff, I'm gonna say Amazon out of stock, because I wanna see things that are where currently Amazon is not selling it, so it's most likely a book that's not still in print, it's not new and stuff, you know? So it's gonna be an older, most likely book that, you know, a lot of people still want, but you can only find used on the used market. The next, for Christmas, I'll put the max that I want to find at 15 bucks. And then I kind of leave everything else wide open. You can narrow it down to say that you want everything from 15 bucks to higher, but for Christmas books, if you do that, it eliminates a lot of things that will spike in Christmas season, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of want to be careful with that, with Christmas books at least. And then for Christmas books, I'll of course put the category as books, because we're always looking for books. And then the next, I'll put a subcategory of Christmas or Halloween or whatever subcategory you want. If I'm not doing that, I'll take out Christmas, I'll add 15, and then I'll put like 50 here or something. That way I'm finding all the books that is currently dropped in price under $15, but have in the last 80 days averaged above $50. That's the main thing you want to look at. And I'll take Amazon off there, because I'm not scared to sell books that Amazon's still selling, as long as the used price makes sense. And then you click find product, and there you go. You know, that's how you kind of work Keepa product finder. Keep it simple. Don't try to overcomplicate things, because whenever you start doing all of these type of filters, and then you start eliminating books that you should be finding, and then you're like, why isn't this working, and yada yada, you know? So just try to narrow it down to those few things. That way you don't overwhelm yourself, especially at the beginning when you're first starting this, because it can be overwhelming. But there is one other thing that Keepa kind of gives you to find books. And I got to give a shout out to Joji Davenport for showing me this. I honestly have not like messed around with these filters a whole lot, but I've saved a few that have worked for me the best. And I have had them all. You can save them all you want with this plus button. If you find one that works for you, you just push that plus button. It'll save the filters. But this is the Keepa deals page right here. So you'll click on this. You'll come down here. You'll go the drop percent range from 50% to 100% on this one at least. The drop range $22 to $100, and then you want right in the current price to be, you know, between $0 and $43. I do, for this one at least, I did the min sales rank, all the max 1,800,000. No real reason why, but this will give you some decent books if you want to go off of this. This is pretty much the only one that I go off of. These books are going to be different. These don't have like seasonalities. Like this one right here, this one, actually, I always like to look at the Amazon page itself. That way I can see everything, because there's a lot of things that Keepa doesn't show you. Like number one, if you're just looking off of here and you look at this price at $40.12 and you're like, oh, I can get it for $40 and sell it for, looks like $150. You know, it doesn't, 40 doesn't take into consideration shipping. Still, even with shipping, most likely $40 is going to be great if you can sell it at $150. But it also doesn't tell you if you're eligible. This is Seller Amp, and see, I'm not eligible to sell this book for a lot of reasons. I've been burned with this book, I'm pretty sure, before. I think I bought this book and then I ended up not being able to sell it later on. But Keepa Deals is another amazing tab. I think that you find books faster than what the Keepa Product Finder does. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll go from that. Anyways, next I want to go over the pros and cons of it. So the pros obviously is data driven. It gives you all the past historical data. You can stop guessing on what books you're buying. You can start like buying with confidence, knowing like, oh, that was a great book. I finally found a great book, you know. And it gives you all that data, and it's really, I think you only pay like 22 bucks a month, and it's really not that much. And like that right there just is worth it to me, you know. You're gonna need it no matter what. Even if you do choose to go to Bookmine, which great software if you do want to do that, but you're still gonna need to, one, learn Keepa graphs, because Bookmine uses Keepa graphs to show you what good books are, and two, you know, you just can't really run your business without understanding the past historical data of each book that you're buying. Whenever you're doing A to A, and I mean thrifting, yeah, all of it really, but especially whenever you're doing like online arbitrage for books. The cons though, I've always said this, cons are learning curve. It takes a while to learn. You have to look at hundreds of graphs before you start really getting confident to like, all right, this is a great book, you know. You can, obviously, I've always said this, you know, if you can get like a mentor or something, that is the way to go, because they can, you know, speed run your learning curve by a lot. You know, if you're going it alone, you can learn it by YouTube videos. That's how I did it. I learned it mainly through YouTube videos, but I also bought courses too to help me. And the courses helped me so much more than just the, you know, piecing together all the YouTube videos. Like this video right here is, you know, it's a step-by-step guide, of course, and everything, but it's not, you know, it's not as in depth as you can go whenever you're actually talking to someone and you're like, hey, why, you know, why is this not working? And they'll be like, hey, it's because you have this. And you're like, oh, that makes sense, you know? So it's just all about, you know, one is about getting out there and getting connected to somebody, and two, it's like that. And I guess the only other con is it costs money, but any tool for this business it's going to cost money. But you know, if you do want help learning this, I have a link down below. I'm also a bookkeeper if you want help on the back end, but you can go to my bookkeeping website and book a call, 30 minutes for free, and we can kind of discuss what you're kind of needing. If you want help sourcing, I can help you with that. If you want help, you know, learning how to read a Keepa graph, obviously I can help with that. Just go down and check out the website, jonesbookkeeping.pro, because we're professional. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.